Alright, as I was saying, Regina, Selena, something about magic, didn't make, where did Regina get it? That's what I was left at, I believe. I'm gonna move forward because I think I said all that I need to say. I find it weird though that, out of Henry's family, that officially, trying to think. Because I kind of complained already about this, but it is weird that she's living there. Also, what's weird is the age of Robin. I believe they said she was 25. I didn't even know 25 years passed that fast. That's odd. Unless they sped up her aging somehow. I mean, why is she older but not Selena? If that's the case, if it's being in that particular enchanted forest, why did no one else age? It's all really weird. I don't understand it. I feel like they made Robin older. I was gonna say Selena. Robin older for the sake of her love story, possibly. And that I think is what the focus should be on right now. Next, I just want to kind of really quickly talk about that. They did wake up Selena's cursed persona, who we find out is married. Or getting married. Sorry, she's getting married. I do wonder if her fiance is a storybook character possibly, or just some random guy. It kind of sucks though, because Zelina, I think, probably found someone that she connected with very well, and that's kind of the thing that sucks about having these cursed personas, is that you know, especially in this instance where they're mixed with the real world people. But before in Storybook, it was just they're all fairy tale characters in that little town, so it didn't matter as much. So I do wonder what's gonna happen there, or if they're gonna do anything with that. Possibly, I feel like they will. I do think it's interesting that I think the second half of the season is gonna be a way to break the curse, while break curse and save Henry and Lucy, not have to choose one or the other. I think that's what they're going for in that second half. I feel like they're both gonna live on it, honestly. They'll find a way to save both of them. I can feel it. I'm gonna call it and be like, I think they're both gonna be fine by the end of the season. I don't picture the writers killing off a child with Lucy, and I don't picture them killing off Henry as well. I don't think Lana Parrilla would go for that even. That's just some thoughts right there. The big thing from this episode, of course, was the reveal of the new LGBT storyline. As we all know, they haven't done a really good job with that on the show. Mulan, very famously, was written as an LGBT character, and she kind of doesn't really get much to do, or, didn't get her happy ending as far as we know. We don't know what happened to Mulan. She kind of popped in for a little bit and disappeared. Her story is very incomplete to me. We first had Ruby and Dorothy, one episode, really no development there with them. I feel like the writers are doing this because they have a huge audience, and I hope they do justice this time around with Robin and Alice. However, I've noticed on social media there has been a lot of anger towards it, for various reasons. Of course, these are both two children who were conceived in a very deceptive way. Their mothers disguised themselves as other women in order to get their fathers to sleep with them and get them pregnant. that's been one of the complaints that why these two women who are conceived in this way, the couple that they chose to do, a lot of people are complaining that they are the children of Robin Hood and Captain Hook. That to me is a silly reason to complain. The people that are complaining about that are the people who wanted Swan Queen to be a thing, which is Emma and Regina. I think with Robin and Alice, I feel like they have a really great potential despite the circumstances of their birth and who their fathers are. I think if they're really well developed characters and if their relationship is really well developed, then it could work out very well. A lot of people are complaining that, oh, it's not going to be a big focus of the story. It sounds like it is. The actress who plays Alice, Rose Reynolds, explained that they've already filmed a lot more with her and Robin. I guess they're having an entire episode dedicated to it, and that's episode 13, I think, or 14. I think we're seeing more of them. I feel like, I don't think they're in just one episode like Ruby and Dorothy. I do think they're going to be a major part of the story. I also think that in the second half, Regina's love interest will be introduced. So I feel like I do think they need to focus on one love story right now, than trying to do 3, because you of course have Henry and Jacinda, or Henry and Cinderella. You will have Regina, and I think it's going to end up being Dr. Facilier from The Princess and the Frog, the villain from Princess and the Frog that was in episode 5. I want to say, yeah, 5. Way back, right? I think he's her love interest because there are some set photos I've seen where they're in an embrace. And then, of course, Alice and Robin are going to be the other couple. I don't know who else they could do in this short amount of time. I feel like there's going to be a lot of time jumps for these relationships. And I don't think they're going to get as much development as I hope, but I think they'll get more than, at least for Alice and Robin, I do think they'll get more than Ruby and Dorothy. Here's my thing. If the writers who talked about, how they wanted to pick the right couple and the right storyline, that's fine and dandy, but make sure you're going to do it justice, because there are a lot of people who want to see themselves portrayed on screen, but portrayed on screen in a proper way, in a way that is, shown with respect, and where they're treated fairly, and a lot of different reasons, because we all want to see ourselves reflected on screen. I feel like, you want to find that character that you identify with. Sometimes, it could be a character that you might not have anything in common with, physically speaking, or something like that. You might be a white person, but find something in common with an Asian character, or whatever. But we do, there are people out there that do want themselves portrayed on screen. I just saw the movie Coco back in November for my birthday, and I was talking about